Good morning, friends. The topic of today's discussion is Introduction to Literature. What is art? Art is an expression of our thoughts, emotions, intuitions, and desires. The human beings have developed various forms of expression to communicate their feelings, emotions, intuitions, and experiences. Art brings together all creative and imaginative activities undertaken by an individual. Art is about sharing the way we experience the world. The different experiences that we undergoes is expressed in the form of art. Art, hence, is the communication of intimate concepts that cannot be portrayed by words alone. Art is the expression or application of human creative skill at one level and imagination at other. It is typically in a visual form such as painting, sculpture, architecture, which produces works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Painting, sculpture, music, dance, literature are some of the prominent forms of art. Various branches of creative activity like painting, music, literature, and dance gives a kind of aesthetic pleasure to the readers. Broadly speaking, there are three forms of art. One, visual arts, in which painting, photography, sculpture, architecture comes under the visual arts. You might know that painting is an art. It's not a simple activity that one student can take a pen and notebook in his hand and portray a picture or an image of something animate or inanimate objects. It's not so simple. Painting is one of the important visual arts which needs skill and imaginative power. Photography is also a visual art. Everyone will take a mobile in his hand and they will draw a photo. But a skilled photographer can draw the image or draw a photo of the customer in a right way. In the same manner, sculpture or architecture is a form of visual art. The sculpturist's role is very important If you have seen Ajanta and Verul caves, then you will see that there are different kind of paintings which has been drawn by the sculpturist, the painter. The second form of art is performing arts, in which music, dance, and theater comes under this performing art. And the third is literary art, art related to literary forms. This literary arts has basically two forms. One is prose and another is poetry. One is prose and another is poetry. Now, dear students, we will move to the point which is related to our curriculum, that is, what is literature? Basic questions that occurs in our mind is, what is literature? What is the function of literature? Why we study literature? Why we read, write literature? As I told you earlier, literature is one of the important forms of art which pleases us, which gives us a message related to our life. In this context, the form of literature is very important for the human being. Literature uses words for the depiction of the world. Basically, literature has many forms like poetry, prose, drama. Before taking a discussion of the forms of literature, first of all, we will discuss in detail what literature really means, what is the function of literature, and why we have to study literature. Friends, literature, the word derives from a Latin word litera, Litera, which means letter, alphabets. Literature means written artistic works, especially those with a high and everlasting artistic value. What I want to say is that literature means written artistic works which is written with the help of words. It is an artistic expression of thought which is replayed with feelings and imagination. Two words are very important here. One is feelings and another is imagination. Literature is equal to feelings plus imagination. So this is expressed in such an untechnical form as to make it intelligible and give aesthetic pleasure and relief to the mind of common man. Three things are very important to understand the form of art, that is literature. One, literature is an artistic expression of thought which is replete with feelings and imagination. 2. It gives aesthetic pleasure. And number 3, it also gives a relief to the mind of common man. When we are under tension, when we are under stress, we read different kind of literature which gives a kind of relief to the mind of the reader. What is in literature? It is generally said that literature is the mirror of society. What is in society is reflected in literature. Literature always anticipates life. Life of an individual, life of human being is reflected in literature. Literature does not copy it, but it molds its purpose. And what is the purpose of literature? The main purpose of literature is to provide aesthetic pleasure and relief to the mind of common man. At the same time, literature enlightens the readers. Literature gives a message how to live and how to behave in society. Literature, in this context, a well-known thinker, Emerson, has rightly pointed out that literature is the record of the best thoughts. The best thoughts which occurs in our mind, that has been recollected in our mind, and then it occurs on the page in the form of essay, in the form of poetry, form of drama, novel, whatever it may be. Hence, what Emerson says is very much true, that literature is the record of the best thoughts which is collected an individual's mind. Literature, as Encyclopedia Britannica has defined the form of art, that is literature, as a body of written works. The name literature is often applied to those imaginative works of poetry and prose distinguished by the intentions of their authors and the excellence of their execution. So what Encyclopedia Britannica pointed out is that literature applied to those imaginative works of poetry and prose, and it is distinguished by the intentions of their authors and the excellence of their execution. Literature, in this sense, can be called as the mixture of feelings and imagination. There are four ingredient parts of literature. One, thought, which is one of the ingredient parts of literature, because thought has to occur in our mind in order to produce literature. Number two, feelings. Number three, imagination. And number four, beauty. These are the four ingredients of literature. Now this is the first question. What is literature? In general, we have defined literature. We understood what literature really means. Now, the second question is, why do we read literature? What kind of lessons that we achieve we attain, we secure by reading literature. Is there any need to read literature? Why we read literature? Do we read literature to collect information only? Second, do we read literature to acquire pleasure, entertainment, or do we read literature for knowledge? Why we read literature? As I told you earlier, there are two important objectives of literature. One, it gives enlightenment and it shows the way. It gives a message how to live and how to behave in society. So we read literature not only for collecting information but for knowledge. It gives pleasure, it gives relief, it gives knowledge, and it gives a message how to live and how to behave. Initially, thousands and thousands years ago, there were oral traditions. Oral traditions means the story has been narrated in the oral form from one mouth that goes to the next reader, and the same narrates the story. In this way, from one generation to the second generation and second to the third generation, that the story is stipulated. Because the story which is narrated by an individual is not written in the written form. There were not written documents of the stories. There were only spoken words, which is known as signs. And these oral stories have not written in the written form, they were in the spoken form, and these spoken stories, oral traditions, becomes an integral part of literature. Now we will move to the next point, forms of literature. Broadly speaking, there are two forms of literature. One, literature in prose, and two, literature in poetry. What is prose literature? Prose literature is patterned with sentences. There are straight forward writing in the form of paragraphs. The main function of prose literature is descriptive, expository, narrative in the form of narration, or expressive. This is the first form of literature, that is prose literature in prose. Then there are three different and important forms of literature in prose. Number one, short story. Two, novel or fiction. Three, drama or play. Now, what is short story? Short story, as the name indicates, is a brief work of prose fiction. It is a narration of single incident. For example, there was a king, he has a queen. The king died, and after some days, the queen also died. This is a single incident. What is the incident? The death of the king and the queen. So this single incident is narrated in the form of a short story. In this single incident, the short story writer organizes this incident with the action, thought, and interactions of its character into the artful pattern of a plot. That is what we call as a short story. Number two, second form of prose literature is novel or fiction. Novel or fiction is any literary narrative, whether in prose or verse, which is invented instead of being an account of events that in fact happened. What it simply means is that the incidents are not actually happened. It is not the true account of the incidents. It is invented instead of being an account of events that in fact happened. It is drawn from the imagination of the author. Fiction is not true. Fiction is not true. It is used as a synonym for the novel. Sometimes fiction denotes only narratives that are written in prose. Fiction denotes truth, says Edmund Burke. And what is fiction? According to Oscar Wilde, the good end happily, the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means. And this is a universal truth. The good always ends happily, and the bad always ends happily. In a movie, you have seen the hero is awarded and the villain is punished by his mischievous activities. What I want to say is that hero has given a kind of reward and his life ends happily due to his good activities in his entire life. Whereas the villain's life ends unhappily due to his mischievous activity. So, in short, fiction means an imaginative story told or narrated with the help of certain characters and events. Then there are different forms of fiction. Types of fiction, you may say, or forms of fiction novel. What are the forms of fiction? Epistolary novel, picaresque novel, realistic novel, Bildungsroman, Kunstroman, social novel, historical novel, campus novel, regional novel, gothic novel, stream of consciousness, science fiction. These are the main forms of novel. We can understand fiction or novel by applying these 5 basic elements of the novel. 1 is plot, 2 character or characterization, 3 setting of the novel, 4 narrative technique, style of writing, style of narration, language, point of view, etc., etc. And the last one, theme, or you may say subject matter, the main crux of the novel on which the entire story is based. So these are the five basic elements of the novel. Now we will switch over to the another form of prose literature, and all of you might aware with this form, that is drama or play. The form of composition designed for performance in the theatre, in which actors take the roles of the characters, perform the indicated action on the stage, and utter the written dialogue. That is what play means. That is what drama means. 3-4 points are very important in this definition. One, the play takes place in the theatre. Characters plays an important role on the stage. There are spoken dialogues and the action is performed. The performance is taken place in the theatre. So there is a difference between novel and play. Novel is written only for reading, but the play is written for the performance in the theatre, where the actors takes the action on the stage and perform the action. That is what play means. There are different forms, types of drama. Broadly speaking, there are two main types of play. One, tragedy, and two, comedy. Then there are some minor types of play, that is tragicomedy. Some incidents are tragic, whereas the rest of the incidents are comic, which is known as tragicomedy. Then farce and melodrama, the masque, and the one act play. There is only one act. Then there are some dramatic devices, dramatic irony, soliloquy and aside, expectation, surprise, and stage directions. So these are the three important forms of prose literature. Now we will switch over to the forms of non-prose literature. Literature in prose and literature in non-prose. Fiction and non-fictional literature. So literature in prose has basically two forms: prose literature, fictional literature, and non-fictional literature. In the non-fictional prose literature, biography, autobiography, essay, memoir, diaries, journals, letters, epistles, that occurs. Now we will undertake a discussion of all these forms one by one. First of all, we will discuss what biography means. Biography is the form of non-prose literature. It is the history of particular men's lives. It is a history of particular men's lives, written by someone, written by somebody. It is a truthful record of an individual. It is a study between two events of an individual, such as birth and death. So biography, in short, which is the first time Dryden used the term in 1683. Dryden is a well-known poet in English poetry who used the term biography, and he defines biography as the history of particular men's lives. The Oxford Di- Dictionary also defines biography as history of the lives of individual men as a branch of literature. And Harold Nicholson has rightly defined biography as a truthful record of an individual composed as a work of art. So one idea is very clear that biography is a record of truthful events in an individual's life. Man's life is a journey from birth to death. If you ask me what is human life, I will simply say human life is equal to the difference between birth and death. Birth plus death, and the difference between these two is equal to human life. And there are many good as well as bad events, incidents that occurs in the life of an individual. Biographer picks up some of the important good and bad incidents in an individual's life and recorded in the form of biography. And the all incidents in the sense are truthful one. Next point or next form of non-prose literature is autobiography. The word autobiography itself indicates auto biography. Graphy is photography, picturization, self. In autobiography, the author writes the story of his own life and achievements. So the writer of the autobiography is the person himself who narrates his own story and his achievements in his life. So it is a product of first hand experience, biography being the second hand experience. It is a true record, autobiography is a true record of an individual's life written by himself or herself. Longfellow has rightly defined autobiography, saying that autobiography is a product of first hand experience. And Stevenson also says that there is no truer sort of writing that than what is to be found in autobiographies, and certainly none more entertaining. So what Stevenson says is absolutely true, because in autobiography there are only truthful events that occurs in an individual's life. Dr. Johnson also says that the writer of his own life has at least the first qualification of an historian, the knowledge of the truth, who wants to write the autobiography. And though it may be plausibly objected that his temptations to disguise it are equal to his opportunities of knowing it. Simply speaking, autobiography is a truthful record of an individual's life. Next form of non-prose literature, that is essay. Essay, any short composition in prose that undertakes to discuss a matter, express a point of view, or persuade us to accept a thesis, a subject, on any subject. That is what essay means. So it is a composition. It is a short composition on a particular topic. It discusses the idea, express the point of view of the essayist, and persuade us to accept his argument. He proves his argument by giving different kind of examples. So this is what essay means. There are two forms of essay. One is formal essay and another is informal essay. Personal essay and informal essay. Formal and informal essay. These are the two forms of essay. Next form of non-prose literature is memoir. A memoir is any non-fiction narrative writing based in the author's personal memories that he collect and write in the form of a memoir. Hence, it is also a truthful record of his life. It is also a truthful record of his life achievements. Then the next is diary. Many of you may also handle this form, that you also write the important points of a day in your diary. What kind of things that we did in a whole day that we have noted on the diary. Then journals and letters. As I told you earlier, literature is broadly classified, divided into two forms. One is literature in poetry and literature in prose. So the first form, that is literature in prose and non-fictional prose, that we have discussed in detail. What are the forms of prose literature and what are the forms of non-prose literature? Now, what is poetry? Poetry, in a broader sense, is an activity of the imagination, idealizing the real. Only poet idealizes the real incidents and realizing the ideal. Poetry is a particular arrangement of words on a page for heightened emotional effect. It pleases us. At the same time, it teaches some lessons. So, two things are very important in poetry. What William Wordsworth, a famous romantic poet in English poetry, defines poetry as a spontaneously, a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings taking its origin from emotions recollected in tranquility. In Wordsworth's definition, 2 points are very important. One, emotion and imagination is equal to poetry. These two ingredients are very important for composition of poetry. Imagination and emotion. So, poetry is an activity of the imagination which imagines the real and realizes the ideal. The things are real, but in the poetry, the poet imagines the real things and composes in the form of poetry as it becomes idealizing or idealizing or the unreal, idealizing the real incident in the form of poetry. Poetry, in this sense, is a very important form of literature, and poetry treats two kinds of subject matter. On the basis of it, on the basis of subject matter, poetry is broadly divided into two types. One, subjective poetry, and two, objective poetry. So what is subjective poetry and objective poetry? Subject and object, third person. Subject, first person. Subjective poetry, see, if the poet views from within, that is supplied by his own thoughts and feelings, the material which is supplied by his mind, within his mind, in the form of his thoughts and feelings, the treatment is subjective, because the poet has not borrowed any material from the outside world. He borrows the material, he invents the material within his mind, the thoughts and feelings that occurs in his mind spontaneously overflow in his mind and occurs on the page through the pen, and poem is created. या पद्धतीनं काव्याची निर्मिती होते. So this is subjective poetry. And second is objective poetry. If the poet views from external objects like deeds, events, and the things we see around us, the treatment is objective. So the material that we borrowed from the external world, the outer world, then the treatment of this poem can be called as objective one. So this is subjective poetry and objective poetry, which has been classified on the basis of subject matter, theme of the poem. Then there are different poetical types, forms. They are lyric, ode, sonnet, elegy, idyll, epic, ballad, and last one is satire. Now what we have discussed in this lecture? We have discussed what is meant by literature, why we study literature, what are the forms of literature, and we have also taken a detailed consideration of the different forms of prose literature, non-fictional prose literature, and the forms of poetry as well. Now the last point of today's discussion is comparison between literature in prose and poetry. What are the differences between prose and poetry? See, number one, in prose, there is a presentation of an idea. In prose, there is a presentation of an idea, and the presentation is undertaken by the writer from his point of view. That is what prose. Whereas poetry expresses strong emotion or lofty thought. In prose, there is an idea, and the point of view of the writer is important, whereas in poetry, emotion and imagination is engulfed together, is mingled together in order to create a poem. The thought occurs in the mind of the poet, and the poet brings emotion and imagination together with the help of the thought as the poem is created. So the basic difference between prose and poetry is related to subject matter, is related to idea. Number two, the purpose of prose literature is to furnish information, instruction, or enlightenment. Prose literature gives information, it gives instruction, and the main purpose is to enlightenment, not entertainment. I am using the word enlightenment. It brings a kind of light among the audience, among the readers of prose literature. For example, if you read one essay, for example, of studies of Francis Bacon, then you collect many of the ideas related to study. What is the importance of study? Why we have to study? And what kind of benefits that we will get from the hard study? So this is a kind of enlightenment. Essayist teaches many things. He gives many lessons to the readers. Whereas the main purpose of poetry is to provide pleasure and delight. That's all. Poetry provides pleasure and delight rather than enlightenment. In poetry, what is important is entertainment. The main focus of the poet is on entertainment, not on enlightenment. So it provides pleasure. The poet wants to provide pleasure and delight through their poetic composition. For example, I will quote the first stanza of the poem written by Robert Burns, titled as A Red, Red Rose. The poet says, the poet opens the poem with the following lines. My love is like a red, red rose that is newly sprung in June. See, what kind of idea that we acquire from this? We acquire pleasure and delight, that the love is compared with a red rose. We cannot collect any kind of knowledge from this, but a kind of entertainment, a kind of pleasure, delight that poetry yields. And this is the second difference between prose and poetry. In short, poetry provides pleasure and delight, whereas prose furnish information, instruction, and enlightenment. The third basic difference between literature in prose and literature in poetry: prose literature appeals to the intellect. Prose literature appeals to the intellect. Poetry appeals to the emotion and imagination. विद्वत्तेला हात घालतं गद्यात्मक साहित्य. पद्यात्मक साहित्यामध्ये भावना आणि कल्पनेला अधिक जागा असते. Poet always wanders in an illusionary world in order to provide pleasure and delight to their readers. I will quote one example how the poet imagines which is not real. As I told you earlier, idealizing the real and realizing the ideal. The title of the poem is Daffodils by William Wordsworth. And what the poet says in the opening stanza of the poem, see, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over wells and hills. At once I saw 10,000 daffodils. This is a full imagination. This is a full imagination that the poet furnishes here in order to give delight to his or her readers. So in short, prose appeals to the intellect of the readers, whereas poetry appeals to the emotion and imagination. So dear students, we will stop here.